What a week we've had.
Well, it's been a busy week though.
I would say it's been a minute. It's been a busy week actually.
Yeah, we went to Birmingham yesterday, back and forth.
That was a very long distance, to be honest. It's not obviously
7 hours.
Is it 7 hours?
Yeah, combined.
Okay. Would I want to do that again? No.
Sure. We do that almost all
You
the time.
enjoy
every
it?
other time. Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy it, right? I enjoy seeing the countryside, you know.
Okay, that's good.
Seeing nature.
That's good.
Yeah.
What would you say has been the highlight of your week? Start talking about work.
I can't remember any. I can't remember any apart from work. I can't remember any as being the highlight. I think maybe the travel yesterday was...
So spending a week with me is not the highlight.
Oh, no, I mean... no.
This is...
When I said highlight, I'm thinking of something extra. I'm thinking of something like...
So spending a week with me...
No, but you're always the highlight for me, you know. I enjoy being with you.
So that should be the first thing you say. You can say,
yeah.
Aside from spending the whole week with you,
yeah,
then this is some of that thing that's made my week.
Yeah, I think, well, I say the highlight was the thought of knowing that we're going to record a podcast today.
That's true.
That has been running through my mind, through my head all week. There's this fear, that I hope I get it really well. There's, you want to have excellence in everything you do. You want perfection in everything you want to do, and it keeps running through your mind. So that has been, I think, my highlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me knowing who I am, obviously, I am. I like doing things perfectly. I want things to be done meticulously and very good.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. I like to get...
You've rubbed off on me, by the way.
I love to get things right, and I hate to fail. I am a very bad loser.
Yeah.
I don't like losing. And someone's laughing behind the camera, which is good. You guys can't see the person laughing behind the camera, but the person knows I hate to fail. And I don't know how to take failure very well. And so because of that, I take my time. I put in my very best into everything I do.
Yeah. Fair.
So, so when the result don't go my way, I tend to sulk.
You sulk?
I tend to go into my shell, then regroup and see how I can hit it hard the next time. Yeah. Okay.
I think no one likes to fail. No one does, actually. But again, I think when you read motivational books, that's what we call failing forward, right? So even when you fail, you don't feel backward, you feel forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, so that's another level of failure, right? Where you feel forward. So some people, they fail, and there's no such thing as failure. If you fail and you rise up again, right, then there's no failure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we put your phone on flight mode if you don't mind, please? Just flight mode if you don't mind. Thank you. That's a good segue for us to start to introduce our program, our pod to our listeners, our viewers, and our people who are going to be following us and listening to us. For me, it's not. I think for me, it's almost like I'm home, just here, sitting here, and doing it the way I know how to do it. Better.
I think the best place I could have done this is with you.
Okay.
I don't think I haven't really had anybody I could bounce off with this way.
Thank you.
So it's a privilege to do this, which actually,
I appreciate that. Coming from a brother. I appreciate that coming from a brother. Okay. Hello listeners and hello viewers. My name is Sorted, and here is my lovely brother. His name is Israel, and our pod is going to be called Common Sense.
Yeah, Common Sense. Common Sense is it's rare these days.
Yes.
Yeah, it's right.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be dissecting topics of the week from common sense standpoint.
Yeah.
Right? We're not legal experts. We're not claiming to be law students. We're not claiming to be legal juggernauts. We're just concerned citizens who wants to see things move forward for Nigeria and Africa at large, and probably the world, to be honest. And so what we're going to be doing is a topic will be thrown at us for the week. We will then dissect it based on common sense, from common sense standpoint. So when you would say stuff like common sense should tell you you shouldn't do A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
Common sense should make you understand that you shouldn't do that. Or with your common sense, you should know that that is wrong. So that's what we are going to be talking from.
Yeah, and again, I think we're going to be talking from different perspectives. You know, it's just like when someone says, if you draw 9, someone standing at the other side could probably be saying 6.
Yes.
So no one is wrong.
No one's right. That's true.
No one is right. You know. So we're going to be speaking from different perspectives, and we're definitely going to leave it to our listeners and our audience to make their judgment.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, they can leave their comments, and of course, the comments will be read also. And
we'll reply.
Of course, we'll reply. Yeah.
Guys, I'm Sorted. He's Israel.
Yeah.
So what will happen is, when we see your comments, we're going to be replying your comments.
Yeah.
So I will reply your comments as Sorted. He will reply your comment as Nelson. So you will know who is replying to your content to your message at every time you comment, right? So let's get into it.
Woo, yeah.
We're waiting for you.
So speaking of topics, I was going to ask you, or maybe this is probably a good one to start with, in terms of what's your opinion about Senator Natasha and the Senate President? She alleges she was sexually harassed by the Senate President. What's your opinion about that? There's been a lot about it in the news and on podcasts and social media.
That's a very sticky one. That's a very sticky one.
I like it. Sticky and shameful.
I don't want to use the word shameful, but I want to use the word sticky. This is my view, right? And like I said, this is everything I'm going to say now is going to be alleged, because I have seen it. I saw it on the news. I saw it from Arise News. She said she was sexually harassed, or she's made mention of something along the line, if you make me happy, or something. For me, I think if we're going to be working towards nation building in that country, Nigeria, and if we really want to build our country, and we really want to see that we move forward, the Senate President should clear his name. How? First thing first, for the fact that there's a claim that he sexually, the fact that there's a claim like that there's sexual harassment, there's an harassment by a fellow honorable member. The first thing he should do is to step aside as the leader of the Senate and go and clear his name. And by the time he's done that and he's found free of any sort of wrongdoing, he can come back and take his seat. Why Senator Natasha should pay heavily for that. This is just me talking from a common sense standpoint.
Pay heavily for it if she is falsely accusing him.
Yeah, if she's falsely accusing him, she should be done for it. Right? Now, saying that, this is becoming one too many. Another lady, Madam Joyce from NDDC, has had this issue before. The former NDDC chair lady, or whatever her name is, Madam Joy. She has equally accused the same honorable before, Senator Akpabio, Senate President Akpabio before now, I equally saw that in the news as well. I think it was equally on the Rise News or one of the news. The truth here is, if it's the first, the second time something similar is happening, then this is becoming a pattern. So for me, she needs to just step aside as a Senate President, go and clear his name, address this issue properly, then address Nigeria and say, the first thing you should do is to make a public statement. Addressing Nigerians and say, because of this that's happened, I will step aside and go and clear my name. He shouldn't go back and resume on Monday and sit in that same seat. That is a no. Right? But rather, he should go and clear his name first. That's my take for now.
Okay. First of all, yeah, I sympathize with every woman who has to go through sexual harassment. Yeah, and I deeply, genuinely do sympathize with them. And also, I'm going to sympathize with men who also in some form go through sexual harassment, because it's not just the women, men too go through sexual harassment. So it's we have to balance this conversation. I actually listened to her interview. I did watch the interview on Arise News a couple of days, and of course today, just to see what happened and hear from her. Firstly, I think for her going to the news first to litigate this accusation does remind me of the Me Too toxic feminine movement, that's had its peak about 8 years ago, where men who were in top positions in government and in business are often accused of sexual harassment. And to me, that's truly concerning. And going back her timeline, she said this happened in 2003, where she went with her husband for the birthday
Is it
celebration.
2023?
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2023. That is December 8th. I mean, if that happened in 2023 and you're just saying that now because you're having disagreement with him in the chamber, to me, I call it as blackmail, because this is an issue that should have been reported long before now. So my question is, why now? Of course, this reminds me of 2016 when Trump was president of the United States, and he was nominating someone in the name of Brett Kavanaugh for the Supreme Court justice. And during that time, a woman came and said, "Oh, Kavanaugh harassed me, or maybe raped me. I can't remember the story, but it was around that sexual harassment line, in school." And I mean, this was over 20 years down the line. Now, and you didn't say nothing.
Now, I don't intend to cut you.
No, you didn't say nothing.
Now, let me say something.
No, just let me finish.
Okay.
You didn't say nothing.
Okay.
Right? And immediately he was announced as a nominee for the office, you began to accuse him and blackmail him of sexually harassing you when there's no corroboration. And even in this case, there's no corroboration. So I'm concerned.
Now, let me say something quickly.
Okay.
Do you know that some sexually harassed victims really don't come forward? They don't come forward. Do you know that? And do you know why?
No, why don't they come forward?
Why do they come forward?
Yeah, why don't they come forward?
Because they don't know how the public will take it.
Okay.
Some of them are too ashamed to speak up.
Okay.
Some of them they're very vulnerable. They don't want to know how the public will take it.
Yeah.
Now, they don't want that to be attached to them as well.
And also, these crimes are often done by men in power. So
Thank you.
But this woman, since Natasha, I mean, I'm not trying to discredit or to say that this didn't happen, but my concern is her approach, right? Going to the media first to litigate this, to me, it's a blackmail, because she's a member of the Senate, right? She's a member of the Senate body. And now I believe there are procedures for complaints and reporting a member. When you feel that that a line has been crossed.
However, if
so she should have gone through that.
One of
procedure.
the statements she made on that TV station was that if she has allowed the whole thing go, right, if she just followed the normal complaint procedure, she will never be heard, right? So she feels if she stands up for herself and speak up for herself, then she will be heard. Probably by standing up and speaking up for herself, and that's the reason why she finds herself in a TV station, probably inviting her to come and speak about her truth. Do you understand that? So, like I said, most of the sexually hold on.
It took too long.
I answered that by saying most of the sexually harassed victims, a lot of them don't come for. Just take a case of university. Take a case of a university student and a lecturer.
Okay.
Right? Some of these girls will be harassed in school. They can't even speak up. They of them would graduate and never speak about it. Never speak about it. Why? Because they are scared. Reason being, if I speak up now, that lecturer and his friends or other of his lecturers would see me as a target. So that's one of the reasons why she can't speak, because the person that is doing that to her, that's harassing her, that person is in a position of authority. Now, we're taking the case of alleged Senator Natasha and the alleged issue with Akpabio. There's a gap. One of them is the Senate President, one of them is just a senator on the floor.
But they are both powerful people.
You can say they are both powerful people, but bring it down to the House of Assembly. They are both not compared. One of them is the head of the Senate. One of them is just a member in the Senate.
Okay, and again, if you go through her story, right? Go through her story. She did mention that the first attempt or the first attempt at sexualizing her or harassing her sexually was in 2023 at the government at the Senate President's residence, right? And then there was another one in a nightclub. Yeah, where the Senate President said, "Oh, let's have fun." So my question now is, why are you always with Senator Akpabio in a confinement? Why always in that space? Why are you always in that space with Senator Akpabio? If you think that he's a problem, you think that he does cross the line, why always finding yourself in the same space as Senator Akpabio?
Okay. Yeah. They both are in the Senate. Yeah. And she made mention of the fact
they don't have to be friends.
Hold on.
But they're probably required to be at the same place at the same time because of their job.
No, not in a nightclub. Not in a nightclub.
Hold on. Yeah. I'm going to come back to that point. Yeah. They both are in the Senate, right? Representing different constituencies. Yeah. And she made mention of the fact that Senator Akpabio is a friend or is a family friend to her husband or a friend to her husband.
Yep.
Listen, these are all alleged, but she said that he's a friend to my husband and my husband always supports his campaign or stuff like that. Yeah. Right? So I don't see a reason why if they're having an event that the man's had to be there, she will be there as a member of the Senate.
We're going to a nightclub together. That's
we all know that.
That's
too
close.
Even in the Western world, some of these politicians, they all party together.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there's not even a problem going to pass together. But always being in some space, in close proximity, where the senator can be speaking to you sexually.
Okay.
That's a problem.
Now
you shouldn't be in that same space.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a close space. The one in his house, the husband was there. Her husband was there, remember?
I know.
Now her husband was there.
Yeah.
And she said her husband was behind the both of them while the senator was holding her hand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Holding her hand, showing her around the house.
Yeah.
Yes? So I wouldn't say that's a confined space because she's safe there because her husband is there. Her husband is right behind the both of them. So nothing will ever happen. She's safe there. And according to her, she said the husband was on the phone. Right? And then she alleged that while the husband was behind him on the phone, she alleged the Senate President said now that you're a member of the Senate, you know what will happen if you make me happy. Now I'm thinking, what kind of man would see your husband around you and still say such a word to you?
That's
I mean,
crazy.
she alleged.
That's crazy.
That's a comment.
Yeah.
What kind of man would see you and your husband right there and he will still say such a word to move on to you? For me, that is not acceptable. That's not acceptable in the first place.
Yeah, I don't understand that's not acceptable, right? I mean, in anything that has to do with sexual harassment, it's not acceptable in any way. Whether it happens to the woman or whether it's happening to the man, I mean, it's not acceptable. But I mean, the approach which she's taken to me reminds me of those toxic feminine movement and the Me Too movement, where men were always accused of sexual harassment just because you don't like the person. And if we begin to, as a society, begin to accept that pattern, right, then I mean, we're going to find it we're going to find ourselves in chaos, right? So the point I'm bringing out here is, when you find yourself in such a situation, you report to the appropriate body.
Okay.
You report to the appropriate body. Now, she's a woman of power, number one. She is a woman of power. She has power. She's in the Senate, right? Forget if this was coming from this advantage was coming from the Senate President. I given, right? But she's a woman of power. Her husband is a chief. They call him the Alemu of Warri Kingdom. That's a very powerful man as well. So if you can't say, oh, I feel threatened by him, right? So that's why I couldn't speak out, or I couldn't speak up.
But the husband, to be fair, did say he tried to speak to the Senate President to resolve the issue, but he did not. Hence why she's now speaking up. They've been trying to resolve this by themselves.
That was about the bill that she was trying to pass at the same president. She alleged that the same president.
Even about this issue itself, he said that he did try to speak to the Senate President to get this resolved.
Okay, this is something I want to say.
No.
Yeah.
This is, I'm speaking as a man, right? If a man who I call my friend, tries to sexually harass my wife, in fact, I won't give him a second chance. I'm speaking as a man.
Okay.
I won't give him a second chance.
Okay. Right.
In fact, he's not entitled to be my friend anymore.
Okay.
Right? So the fact that this happened, I just want to speak. Oh, please! You don't have to. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this.
No.
And you remain friends with this man. You remain friends.
Israel, listen.
This allegation is questionable.
Israel, listen. We're not there when this conversation.
Hold on. We're not there
when this conversation was held.
Yeah, but they remain friends.
Listen.
Right?
Listen. You need to hear me out.
Yeah.
We're not there when this conversation was held.
Yeah.
1, 2. It's probably him not saying please, stuff like that, right? The way you are making it. Look, what I'm trying to say is, I can see from Senator Natasha's point.
Okay.
She dresses modestly.
Oh,
right?
To her, yeah.
She dresses modestly. Do you know why I say she dresses modestly? You can see she's trying to talk on the floor when her covering is. Each time the covering is about to come off, she brings it back on just to cover. I don't know how much covering you want her to cover. She dresses modestly, right? So for a woman like that to be facing some sort of harassment that she has alleged, my point is that the person that she has said harassed her, which is in the case Senator Akpabio now, my father in the Lord, I respect you. I'm going to look at the camera while I'm saying this. Listen, it doesn't need to be my pastor. It's not to be my father. Okay. My father in the Lord, I respect you. If I'm your son and a woman says that, I will hang my head in shame and say, hang on, what's happening here, Daddy? What's happening here? This is the second woman that is alleging that something like this has happened.
Okay.
You should go all out to make sure you bring justice to this situation.
Yeah.
How? First thing you should do is step aside as the Senate President. Step aside as the Senate President and face this matter fair and square. As in, leave your position as Senate President. Let the Deputy Senate President take over proceedings. Offer a public notice telling Nigerians that, listen, because of this situation, I'm leaving my seat. Even Nedu did that in the Honest Bunch. Immediately that allegation came against Nedu, the first thing he did was step aside for him to go and clear his name. By the time he's done clearing his name, he will come back. Right? So this issue of how you people are going to play it and twist it and turn it, I'm not up for it. I'm just up for the fact that let the things, the right thing, from common sense standpoint, let it be done. How?
Step down.
Step down from that position. First thing first. It doesn't mean that you're going to, we're not saying you are losing that position. No. We said step down and attend to this issue with Senator Natasha.
Yeah.
Please.
No.
Hold on. You had your time.
Okay.
Fight it fair and square. Right?
Yeah.
Because I understand, I saw the fact that the wife came out and started supporting the husband. Listen, that's what every woman should do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But my mommy in Israel, I can tell you now.
Who's a mom in Israel?
The wife is my mommy.
She's a mommy.
She's old enough to be my mother.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's the reason why you're saying you say my mommy in Israel.
Okay.
I respect.
I mean, you said your mom in Israel. I mean,
Yes.
I'm Israel, by the way.
Listen. This is not.
Israel, by the way.
I mean, you're all laughing, but this is not. To me, this is not a joke.
It's a serious amount to you.
This is not a joke.
Yeah, I know.
I want to see our country move forward.
Okay.
Hence the reason I'm appealing to my mommy in Israel. My mommy in Israel. All I want you to do is to advise our daddy in the Lord to step aside. Step aside and quietly, openly, not quietly, openly, like Donald Trump would say, openly bring the matter out and fight it tooth and nail. Clear your name before you come back and become a Senate President. Because you can't be sitting in that position and at the same time be looking at people sawing your name. See, I said common sense standpoint. I'm only looking at, I'm not claiming to be a legal juggernaut. I'm not saying I'm a lawyer or a barrister. All I'm saying is, from a common sense standpoint, as a concerned Nigeria, if somebody has said that, this is the second time this is coming out in the news, by the way. If somebody has said that about your person, you should step aside and go and attend to the situation. Attend to it and make sure if Senator Natasha is the one telling fibs, she should be brought to justice. Simple. It's high time we start holding people accountable in that country. This idea of somebody will just say something alleged and they'll say you have done this and you don't, you still sit down in that same position and with shame. Listen, if it was me, I'll hang my head in shame, man. I know the man that raised me. My father, my late father, if that has happened in his time, he will leave the position and say, you know what? I want this issue to be seen fair and square. Let's judge it. So that's the only thing I'm asking for. This idea of a woman saying you sexually harassed her while the husband was there, you were making passes, while the husband was right behind them, any man that does that doesn't have the fear of God at all. That's my point. So I am.
Yeah, I do believe in accountability.
Yeah.
Right. I personally like to be accountable to myself, and of course, accountable to others as well. And while I heard your position that the senator should step aside, from his position as Senate
absolutely.
President.
That's what I said.
I think that's responsibility is left to should be handled by the bodies, by the Senate body, to present that motion for him to step down. And to me, I mean, litigating this on social media, litigating these in the media, I mean, that doesn't help in any way. So as a concerned Nigerian, right, if you are concerned about what's going on, then speak to your senators, write to your senators, call your senators and tell them that you want the Senate President to step down and that they must have to pass that motion. But again, a lot of people. I mean,
They don't need, listen, Israel, listen. They don't need to pass the motion for a man of integrity. Do you know what the name honorable means? When they say hold on.
If he chooses,
when they say you are honorable,
if he chooses to not want to step down,
why?
I mean, that's his call to make.
Do you know if you don't step down, you are ridiculing that position? Do you know that? Which means somebody can just wake up tomorrow and say, so person in a position of power has done that. And the person will just, okay, we'll just happy go journey.
No, my problem is this. I mean, everyone who knows me, right, who has had any kind of contact with me,
yes,
know that I strongly support Trump, right? And I remember in 2015 during the campaign, there were several sexual harassment and accusation against Trump, and of course the media hammered it, talked about it, and requested that he step aside from the presidency, from running for president, but he didn't. And again, for me too, I tried to say, we shouldn't. I mean, if there's no proof, because now the burden of proof is on the accuser.
Listen,
right? The burden of proof is on
you
the
have
accuser.
brought up the issue of Trump. As at that point in time, Trump was running for a position. This time, the Senate President is representing. He's already seated in that position. Yeah. Already seated.
Yeah, but the burden of proof is on the woman.
Wait.
On the accuser.
She said, in her word, from her words, Senator Natasha said she's expecting, on the news, she said she's giving him the room to equally come and deny or this statement or write a counter evidence for whatever she said. Being the third person in Nigeria, that position you are seated as a position of power. Yeah. You should not allow anything so. I mean, the Western world is watching us, right? Aside from that, you as a father, yes? Listen, I know the kind of legacy my father left for me. Okay. Yes? What do you want to leave for your children? What do you want to leave for your children? I mean, this is not the first time. This is the second time someone is coming forth to say, the first one, the other woman said, I even slapped him.
I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that?
No.
I'll show you.
Okay.
It's on the news.
Okay.
I even slapped him. Allegedly said something like that. Right? Now, this is the second time. The most honorable thing you should do in this position, from a common sense standpoint, as a man in your home, the head of your own home, aside from the fact that you're the third person in this country, and the head of your home, you are flying the flag for your entire family. That surname that you carry, there are other people that have carried it before you. And the surname is Akpabio. There are other people who have bear that surname before you. You are representing those people as well.
Yeah.
So the first thing you should do is to step aside to bring that name back. I said, no, you can't rubbish my name in the mud. I'm going to make sure you show me all the evidence. And they said, he that alleges must prove it. Yeah. Yes? They sent her, Natasha has alleged. So she needs to prove it beyond reasonable doubt that she's used, Akpabio sexually harassed her. So that's why I'm saying, Senator Akpabio should step aside for now and if he does that, he will become the first person that's done that in history in Nigeria. If he does that, he'll become the first person who is a Senate President who was accused and stepped down. We have 3 arms of government. The Senate, legislative arm, yes? So the judicial arm, legislative arm, and the executive arm. Yes? So you as the head of the legislative arm, and you have done that, what you are sending key message to the executive, and you're sending key message to the judicial head. Say, I want to be accountable from today. That's what you're sending. So you should do that. That's why I'm appealing to my father in Israel to do that.
Okay. In conclusion of this matter, all right. I believe in accountability.
Yes.
Just like I earlier said. It's the Senate President's call to decide to step aside, which, of course, you said is the right thing to do, which I agree if he's guilty. Right.
Not if he's guilty. Before he proves himself guilty or not, he needs to leave that seat so that he will not be seen as so that he will not be so that the process of trying to find who is guilty or not will be free and fair.
So it doesn't seem like he interferes.
So it doesn't feel as if he's influencing whoever is going to be looking at the matter. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's for his name, for his children, for his legacy, for the name he carries. Yeah. I mean, the name I carry now will not let me do anything silly.
Okay.
I will want to make sure, because I'm not the only one bearing that surname. My brothers are bearing it. The other members of my family, my clan, are bearing that name. I want to represent my family properly.
Yeah.
So
just wants to.
I will not want to be found. I will not want to be found wanting. So for me, the first thing he needs to do, so that it doesn't look as if he's going to influence the process of investigation.
Yeah.
He just steps aside, takes his back seat, and let the Deputy Senate President start presiding over things while this investigation is going on. That's all I'm saying. That's just all I'm saying. At the same time, my mother in Israel should support the husband while they are doing that investigation. That's it. Now, I watched another one where, what's in that lady? I think it's Olu Jimmy or something. What's her name?
I can't remember her name, but she was saying something about, the Senate President jokes a lot. I don't know how to take that.
I can't
know that's what you want to say, but
yeah,
that's...
I think her name is Senator. No, I don't know if she's Senator. She said something along the line of the fact that the Senate President jokes a lot. Now, Ma, I'm going to respond to you with a side eye.
Bombastic side eye.
I'm going to respond to you with a bombastic side eye. Honestly. Ma, I respect you a lot. I don't know you in person. I don't even know Natasha in person. I probably don't know him in person.
Neither do I.
I'm going to respond to you with a bombastic side eye. Now, as young as I am, or as old as I am, I've been told before by a woman that when a man jokes too much with opposite sex, it is seen that the man is being flirtatious. Now, this is open in the comment section. Ladies, tell me if I'm telling the truth here or if I'm lying. When a man jokes a lot with the opposite sex, it is seen that the man is trying to be flirtatious. But when he's found out and he's caught in the act, he'll say, no, I was just playing. I was just joking. No, I never did that. I was just joking. By the way, you learn to take jokes. I was just playing. But if the woman gives into his playfulness and he busts it open, I'm sure my father in the Lord will enter Jerusalem. That's all I have to say. Honestly,
I don't know. I'm not part of that. I don't know.
No.
I know anything about Jerusalem.
No, when you come out to say, a fellow woman, by the way, come out to say, he jokes a lot.
Yeah.
She's a married. We're talking about a married woman. Are you joking with a man? Are you with playful words like that?
Why are you holding hands with a married woman?
Why are you holding hands with a married woman? She's married.
I mean, a man holding your hand as a married woman, you shouldn't even allow that.
No. Hold on. I'm going to give some parts. I'm going to equally come back from Natasha on this one. In my culture, when a woman is married, you are not allowed to hold her hand or hold her waist
at all,
or even hug her.
That's my query.
Hold on. Or even hug her.
They should continue to be in the same space with this so-called man.
Or even hug her from the front.
Yeah.
You might be asking what culture is that. I'm a full-blown Bini man. Full-blown, the BINI speaking people. Now, you can go and find out. You are not allowed to hold our wives in the waist. You are not allowed to hug them face to face like that. You're not allowed to hug them chest to chest so that their chest will not rub your chest. You're not allowed to hug them like that. Then you, that is not a family member, holding them by their hand, you are not allowed to do that. Now,
so what we say about that?
Sister Natasha, honorable.
Sister Natasha.
I'm going to tell you your own. A man tells you that very funny comment that you are alleging that he says that to you
Yeah.
And you got home, what's his name? The husband's name?
Lemo of Emmanuel Uduaga. Yeah.
Emmanuel Duaga. The Alemo of Chief. High
Emmanuel
Chief.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Duaga.
Lemo of Warri Kingdom.
The Alemo of Warri Kingdom. You got home with so much love he has for you. He asked you, my wife, what was that man telling you? What was the Senate President telling you? You deflected. You didn't want to tell the truth. You were trying to be wise. He said,
she said that the husband had a big day the next morning, so he didn't want to mess up.
No.
No, that's not an excuse.
Hold on.
That's
Hold on.
not
Hold
an
on.
excuse.
Hold
That's
on.
not
Hold on.
excuse.
Hold on. The Alemo of Warri Kingdom asked you, and you did not deem it fit to tell your husband and said, this is what he was saying.
Yeah.
Sister, you did wrong there too.
That further discredit or gives doubts to the authenticity of her claim.
No. Yeah. My friend, no, my friend. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. The fact that, listen, this fact that she did not say to her husband, I can see it from two different angles.
Okay.
She said the husband and the Senate President has a very good relationship. So hold on. She's trying to kind of sever she's trying to kind of save their relationship. She doesn't want the relationship between
save the relationship between her husband and the Senate President, and not the relationship she has with her husband.
Hold on. I'm trying to see that she being mature and just towing that.
That's not maturity.
Hold on.
That's not maturity.
Israel, hold on. She's trying to be mature and just toe that friendship line, not to annoy her husband, and at the same time not to ruin the relationship they both have together in the Senate. That's
who is a loyalty to then?
Hold on. She knows that she's never going to do a thing like that in the first place. She's never going to give in to whatever the alleged that man is asking for. She's never going to give in. So she said she probably doesn't want to bore her husband with that because she said there's a big day tomorrow, so she doesn't want to ruin the day. That's the which her answer is equally valid. But my own sister, yes, if I see you tomorrow and you ask me the same thing, I will tell you that if a man makes a pass at you like that, you should. Once you get home, you should tell your husband. I said, this is what this man said. I'm not comfortable with it, and this is what he said. So that your husband will go and meet him man to man and say, Oga, this is my own. You can't take her away from me.
Okay.
So that one, I fought you there.
Okay.
Yes? The other part where they were saying you need to be in your seat to invoke Order 10. They said, there's this other, where they said she was not in her seat, but she was invoking Order 10. She's supposed to go back to her seat before she invoked Order 10. The Constitution did not say you have to be on your seat to invoke Order 10. She equally said that. So
I don't know about that precedent. I don't know what it's
so,
yeah.
Guys, this is back to you people at home, in your couch. You are allowed to give us your opinion, comments, like and share. And yeah, we're open to learn.
Yeah.
And if you think she's done the right thing by not literally telling her husband what happened, please leave your comment. I will personally respond. And if you think that the Senate President should not resign, he should stay in his position while he clear his name, please leave a comment and give me a reason why you are saying that. So I'll be happy to learn. I mean, listen, we're all here to learn, aren't we? What's your opinion on that? What's your last take on it?
I've always stood on my ground, on my position. You know that her approach to this worries me. You know, the fact that she didn't mention it earlier is disturbing, right? The fact that she allowed this happen too many times, I mean, it's disturbing, right? The fact that she didn't decide to go through the procedure, you know, to make formal complaints and decided to litigate this in the media, to me, also reminds me of some toxic feminist Me Too movement that happened several years ago. Okay. So that's my concern. And again, I mean, if we allow this to become the pattern, any woman who wants to target a man can just easily just accuse a man of sexual harassment.
Okay.
So that's where I'm coming from.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Guys, you've heard our opinion from common sense standpoint. So it's your own to decide what you think, what side you stand on. And for me, I would say, listen, be fair.
It's easy to say she should resign because we all tend to believe women, right? It's easy for us to say he should resign because we don't like their politics, right? It's easy to say he should resign because this comes from a woman. But again, it's disturbing for me that a woman will allow this happen too many times.
Okay, it's okay. Guys, listen, we want to hear back from you. Right, this is our first, this is going to be our official first pod. So be kind enough to subscribe and encourage us so that you can see more content like this. We are going to be dissecting issues that might concern you tomorrow. It might be something that affects you that we'll be talking about. You never know. So stay tuned. Like we said, it's common sense. It's great being here with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Good.